Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
Welcome to Caribbean Perspective. So glad you can join us. The story that dominates in today's edition for Friday, 25th July 2025, and brought to you in association with our friends at Antillian Group. Globalization takes a toll on Caribbean workers. Details after this important message.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all, perils big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so glad to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
Welcome back. The discontents of globalization are becoming more apparent in the world of work. Speaking at the 4th Caribbean World of Work Forum, Director of Cipriani College of Labor and Cooperative Studies, Dr. Andre Vincent Henry, suggested that factors including salary expectations, burnout, stress, and a lack of fulfillment are driving displeasure with work arrangements. Daniel John of TTT News reports.
Director of the Cipriani College of Labor and Cooperative Studies, Dr. Andre Vincent Henry said, many workers throughout the Caribbean are falling behind due to the onset of globalization.
Wealth accumulation by the owners of capital is increasing while workers find themselves, as I said, falling behind. Basic amenities such as housing are falling out of the reach of many working people. Workers are increasingly living from paycheck to paycheck.
Speaking at the 4th Caribbean World of Work Forum on Tuesday, Dr. Henry said this occurrence has led to discontent amongst workers. They are turning to today's digital landscape and leveraging their expertise to become media influencers, gaining reach and impact beyond their traditional roles.
Even as people become inured to their effects and find themselves chasing identity and fulfillment as influencers on social media, grasping for solutions on the internet, and creating imagined communities to fill dissonance left by a global system that increasingly undervalues human worth.
He also noted that there is a gap in the regional governance systems that urgently needs to be addressed. Dr. Henry said it is for these reasons the Caribbean World of Work Forum was created. General Secretary of the Joint Trade Union Movement, Ozzy Warwick, said the theme of this year's forum gives a sense of the direction in what needs to be done.
The future of work, a social and solidarity economy approach. In the theme alone, it tells us that we can challenge and create alternatives to existing narratives and the status quo. It means that we do not have to accept what is handed down to us as to how our economy should be.
Representing the Minister of Labour, Small and Micro Enterprise Development, Leroy Batiste, Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Loris Alfred, congratulated the team for taking the necessary action to address the challenges.
The CWWF is evidence of the transformation that has taken place at the college in light of the recognition that it cannot be business as usual when it comes to building societies marked by equity and social justice. At the ministry, we are pleased that the college continues in the spirit of the pioneering trade unionists Arthur Andrew Cipriani, after whom it is named.
The forum, which takes place from July 22nd to 25th, brings together key leaders from the labor force, government, and academia to examine the future of work in the Caribbean through inclusive and sustainable economic models. Daniel John, TTT News.
The University of the West Indies Cave Hill Campus School of Graduate Studies now bears a new name. It will now be known as the V. Eugene Barito Complex. CBC's Rochelle Agard has that story.
A phenomenal woman. That's how Emerita Professor, the Most Honorable Eugene Barito, has been described. Moreover, her contribution to the advancement of the Cave Hill campus is regarded as nothing short of outstanding. And in recognition of her visionary leadership and distinguished service, the School of Graduate Studies now bears her name. Vice Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir Hilary Beckles, reflecting on Professor Barito's journey at the university, recalls he met her some 50 years ago as students on campus.
Eugene's commitment was carefully crafted. UE grad, New York University grad, back home scholar, professor here, professor there, visiting scholar here, visiting scholar there. But her center of gravity has not left this university. And we thank her for that. We thank her for that. Because that is the commitment on which we build intergenerational growth.
In his tribute, Professor Barito's son, Cabral Barito Foster, says while his mother had a prolific career over the last 43 years, she is the family's standard bearer and lighthouse in the middle of all storms.
After the storm, our first interest is always to the well-being of the ships. Less attention is paid to the lighthouse to see how it fared even after it saved vulnerable vessels from the storm. Today we celebrate our lighthouse. Today we acknowledge that endurance is still hard for the durable, that compassion is still costly for the selfless. The will to be a lighthouse makes you no less of a loving person, makes it no easier to weather the storm.
The woman of the moment, Emerita Professor Barito, the former principal and campus coordinator for graduate studies and research, says during her many roles, she determined that the university must function as a think tank for the entire Caribbean region.
I believe then, and I still believe, that the UWI Cave Hill campus is an indelible, intrinsic pillar of the educational infrastructure of Barbados and the Caribbean. I believe the Cave Hill campus is obligated to offer increasingly vital solutions to improve societal well-being within the region. And I wanted our graduate students to understand that gaining a postgraduate degree was more than adding another qualification to their resume.
She says her doors will remain open to help those who are in need of her assistance. Rachel Agard, CBC News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick, in association with our friends at
Antillean Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.
Antigua and Barbuda's Foreign Affairs Minister expresses regret that his country has been drawn into what he describes as local political matter. This follows claims by former Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, that he was told he was placed on an Interpol watch list after being detained at VC Bird International Airport. CNC3's Darius Polo has more in this report.
It was an unexpected stopover that's now making regional headlines. Antigua and Barbuda's Foreign Affairs Minister Chet Green is raising red flags over a perceived lack of a clear diplomatic protocol in the Caribbean, after learning that former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley passed through the country without the government's knowledge.
There were no preparations made, especially particularly with Dr. Rowley passing through. And, that in itself is, where we have a concern, because we would like to know that our protocols extended to persons who have served this region, served in different European countries. And, we hope that this kind of thing would be one-off.
Minister Green was responding to claims made by Dr. Rowley, who says he was stopped by immigration officials at Antigua's VC Bird International Airport on July 13th while en route to Montserrat. Despite concerns raised, the minister says it's a TNT issue.
Antigua and Barbuda does not have any comments to make on this matter, which seemingly is even from Dr. Rowley's account, is a local political development.
One day after the Commissioner of Police denied placing Dr. Rowley on an Interpol watch list, Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander is also distancing the government from the matter. Minister Alexander assured that neither the government nor any state agency had any involvement or hidden agenda in attempting to flag Dr. Rowley during his travels since demitting office on March 16th.
Just like everybody else, I am wondering from whence that came. We have no information about that. The government of Trinidad and Tobago did not put anybody, from my knowledge, on any watch list. I didn't say don't put anybody. Didn't put that particular individual on any watch list or anything like that.
The minister stressed that Interpol operates independently and the government will not interfere. Attempts to contact Dr. Rowley for an update were unsuccessful. Darius Polo, CNC3 News.
Over now to Guyana, where Aubrey Norton, the presidential candidate for the Partnership for National Unity, APNU, has vowed to lead Guyana with integrity and honesty, promising sweeping reforms to restore national unity and end political interference in the security forces. Antonio Day of HGP Nightly News has more.
Aubrey Norton, presidential candidate of the Partnership for National Unity, while addressing supporters in Melanie on the east coast of Demerara over the weekend, said a direct approach will be taken to reclaim the country from corrupt hands. The APNU's presidential candidate was addressing thousands gathered in Melanie over the weekend as the party took its political campaign to the east coast of Demerara.
Saying to you, we will govern with integrity. We will govern with honesty.
The aspiring president, in his appeal to residents of Melanie, said Ghana will return to a state of prosperity and unity under an APNU coalition government. Mr. Norton said Ghana remains a divided nation due to the discriminatory practices.
A lot of the disunity occurs because this government allocates the resources of this country in a discriminatory way. They have different strokes for different folks.
Diverting his attention to the Ghana Police Force and the Ghana Defense Force, Norton said, while the men and women in uniform continue to serve the country, the governing People's Progressive Party Civic Administration has failed to put systems in place for retired servicemen and women.
I said to you in the Army, I said to you in the Guyana Police Force, an APNU government will ensure that while you serve as policemen and soldiers, you will be trained in other skills, so after service, you can be of use to this country.
Mr. Norton highlighted the politicization of the Ghana Police Force on the ruling People's Progressive Party Civic regime. The APNU presidential candidate, who is also a lecturer of political science, argued that at no point will his government interfere in the affairs of the law enforcement agency. He said there will be drastic changes under an APNU-led government.
The law must protect the people who operate based on law. We have to end this situation in which the Guyana Police Force has become a tool of the PPP and the elite. And do you believe so many of them in the PPP believe they could rape?
I'm Antonio Day reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips told a gathering of People's Progressive Party Civic PPPC supporters in Guyana that Guyana has undergone 5 years of solid, sustained development under the leadership of President Dr. Irfan Ali. Tiana Cole of HGP Nightly News provides details.
We have achieved one Guyana, and we need to build on it. Shared prosperity to all the people of Guyana. We have went into every community with our people-centered approach who had 5 years of solid, sustained development under the visionary leadership of our President, Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali.
Phillips further emphasized that the PPPC is a results-driven party that consistently delivers on its promises and maintains a people-first approach to governance.
I am Eddie Frederick, wishing you a restful weekend. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean.
In the meantime, please follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily regional news and more, in association with our friends at Antillian Group.
Believe in our strength, we'll stand by you. Protection from all perils, big and small. Reassurance we give, it's so clear to see. Peace of mind, that's our service guarantee. We look after all our family. Yes, we do at every opportunity.
Antillian Group, underwriters of all classes of insurance solutions for your protection and investment. Live well financially.